Every gardener wants consistent, heavy harvests without pouring money into chemical fertilizers. The truth is, Japanese farmers figured out how to do this centuries ago. Their secret was a simple, natural method I call fermented soil boosting, a practice built around recycling organic matter through fermentation before feeding it back to the garden. When I started applying this, I saw plants take off faster, soils loosen, and yields jump dramatically. Let me break down exactly how this works and how you can use it today. At its core, fermented soil boosting is the ancient Japanese practice of turning rice bran, weeds, or even fish scraps into a living liquid fertilizer through fermentation. Unlike raw compost or manure, which take months to break down, fermentation unlocks nutrients in a matter of days and multiplies beneficial microbes that directly feed your plants. Instead of dumping organic matter on the soil and waiting, you're handing plants a pre-digested, bioavailable feast. Japanese farmers often worked small plots, yet their soil stayed fertile year after year. That's because they never wasted nutrients. Rice bran crop residues and fish waste were all cycled back into the ground, but always in a fermented or mulched form. Fermentation not only preserved nutrients, but also gave the soil a constant supply of microbial allies. This wasn't just about feeding plants. It was about building a soil ecosystem that regenerated itself season after season. To practice fermented soil boosting at home, you only need a few items. Rice bran or wheat bran for minerals and energy, greens like weeds, kitchen scraps, or plant trimmings, and if you want, fish scraps for nitrogen, calcium, and phosphorus. You'll also need rainwater or dechlorinated water, a spoonful of molasses or sugar to fuel fermentation, and of course, a bucket with a lid. That's it. No chemical additives, no expensive products, everything is cheap or free. Fill a bucket halfway with chopped greens, rice bran, or a mix of both. If you have fish scraps, add a small handful. Don't overload, a little goes a long way. Pour in rainwater until the bucket is nearly full. If using tap water, let it sit overnight so chlorine dissipates. Okay, now mix in 1 tablespoon of molasses or raw sugar. This really helps to jumpstart the fermentation process by feeding all those beneficial microbes. Next, stir well, cover it loosely with a lid, and keep it somewhere shaded but warm. Remember to stir once a day to add oxygen and prevent it from turning sour. After about 7 to 10 days, the liquid should be dark, earthy, and just a bit sweet-smelling. But hey, if it stinks, that means it went anaerobic. So next time, add more bran and stir it more often. Okay, so now you'll want to strain the liquid and then dilute it at a 1 to 10 ratio with water. You can apply it directly to the soil right at the base of your plants, or, if you prefer, you can spray it on the leaves as a foliar feed. You should use the fermented liquid every 2 weeks during the growing season. For seedlings, it really gives the roots an early push. And for fruiting crops, like tomatoes or peppers, it keeps the flowers strong and helps prevent those mid-season slumps. If you're growing leafy greens, it produces fast, steady growth without burning the plants. Each dose also enriches the soil, multiplying microbes that keep working long after the liquid is gone. When I started using fermented soil boosting, the first thing I noticed was how quickly transplants recovered. Instead of sitting stagnant for a week, they shot new leaves almost immediately. My beans climbed faster, my lettuces filled out quicker, and even in drought conditions, my plants stayed resilient. Over time, the soil itself became richer, darker, and honestly just way easier to work. That's exactly why Japanese farmers could rely on consistent harvests year after year. It wasn't a one-time trick, but a compounding system of fertility. The ancient Japanese secret for unbelievable harvests is no longer hidden. It's fermented soil boosting, simple, natural, and powerful. If you're tired of weak growth and costly fertilizers, this is the method to try. Your plants will thank you, and your soil will only get better with each season. For more tested soil hacks and forgotten methods, subscribe to Botanical Bliss and share this with a gardener who deserves bigger, healthier harvests.